Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today on a very dreary day in the UK. Just last week we had 30 plus degrees temperature, and this week it's dropped right down to about 18, 19, although it feels a lot cooler than that outside. It's not very pleasant at all. So I've got as much light as I can on the table, because normally I have quite a lot of sunshine come through the window, but not today. And the decks that I've got here to show you is very exciting, actually. These 3 decks here are all used Preloved decks that I recently bought in a bundle. And I was only after this deck, really, to be honest, because I don't know whether you'd watched one of my earlier videos over the last couple of weeks, but I said I was having real problem getting on with the Tarot of a Moon Garden, the new borderless edition that I was so highly anticipated by me. I was so excited about receiving it because I love decks with Fae energy, but I've just really struggled with it. It doesn't seem to want to read well for me, and I ended up sort of putting it all back in order and putting it back in the box and just not looking at it again. But when I discussed that in a video, somebody suggested that I try the old original Tarot of a Moon Garden with the border and see if I felt any differently about it. So I was looking for a used deck of that, and I actually found this bundle, and it's really not very often these days on eBay that you find a good bundle of genuine decks. Normally people are trying to sell you knockoffs or Temu decks or something, but I actually found the Tarot of a Moon Garden, which to me looks new, the Tarot of Carlotydes, I believe that is, Fournier deck, which I've seen lots of people with. It's very pretty. And the Triple Goddess Tarot, which I had never seen before. And I haven't had a look at either of these yet. These literally came this morning. So what I want to do is I want to have a quick look at these 2 decks together to see how I feel about them, see if I think I might be able to do better with this one. And then maybe have a quick look at these as well. So I'll put those over there for the time being. There won't be any sort of pairings or any in-depth look at any of these cards because I have literally only just received them today. But I'm sure that this deck is new, you know. Look, the little white book seems perfect. It's even got the front card. The box is in good nick. And the cards, although they are slightly bent, which always does annoy me when they don't quite sit flat, they seem to be in perfect condition, look, don't they? So, the backs, and I think actually I do like the white backs better. Normally, I'm very anti-borders on decks. You know, I've got decks where I've cut the borders off. They're not always my favourites, but do you know, I think I do like the original deck better. Let's have a look. Yeah. They are very slightly different, aren't they? Oh, what have I got here? What have I done? The Magician. I've not got these in the right order, have I? That's why. There we go. I thought I had them in the right order, but clearly not. There we go. Oh, it's very difficult, isn't it? I think all I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have a go, aren't I? I'm going to have to go at reading with them and see how it goes. See, now I'm looking at them together. Some of the cards I prefer borderless and some I prefer with the border. Like, that's very pretty without a border. Oops. I think partly it's that they're too dark, these borderless ones. I think the white border on these decks helps to lighten the feel of the deck, perhaps. I mean, it's lovely that you get a much more close-up, bigger sort of version of the person and the image, but I think the dark backgrounds are a bit much. Do you know, I really don't know. Even now I'm looking at them, I really don't know how I feel about these decks. I mean, I'm glad I've got the big guidebook there, this guidebook that came with the borderless edition. This is a really good guidebook. But yeah. Sorry if you can hear banging. I don't know who that is. There's one of my neighbours has been having a new shed put up, and there seems to have been all sorts of things going on recently, so I don't know what the banging is about. Do you know, I really thought if I put these side by side that one of them would clearly jump out at me as being like, ooh, I like that one best, but some of them I like this one and some I like this one. If they're all the same size, I think I'd pick out my favourites from each deck and mix them up, but oh look, the ace. I've put them the wrong way round, haven't I? Oh well. Well, let's get down to the Three of Swords. Do you know, I really just don't know. I'm going to have to spend some time with them, aren't I, and see how I feel. Because I'm just really not sure about... I could end up rehoming both of these decks. I don't know what it is about them. Like I said, I'm normally absolutely love Fae energy. You know, I've got several sort of Fae and fairy type oracles and, you know, a few tarot decks, and I normally really like them. So I just don't know. I think overall I am liking the one with the border, the original one, the best. I think I also don't like the shape of these cards. They're too long and thin. God, aren't we pernickety? So pernickety. So that was the Tower of the Moon Garden, and like I said, I think I'm going to have to spend some time with the new deck and see if it reads any better for me. So this is the Tarot of Carlotydes by Fournier. I've seen this on many people's channels over time and thought it was a really, I mean, look at the backs. I'm going to have to do the tag, aren't I? Beautiful backs. I think there's been a tag going around, hasn't there? I've got quite a lot of decks with really nice backs. Like I said, this also, other than the box being a little bit beaten up and this weird little booklet being a bit beaten up, we have to go to page 21 for English. I suppose you get all the keywords. It's okay. What's that one? That's the front one. So yeah, again, this deck looks in really, really good condition as well. Do you know, I'm just thrilled to have had these 3 decks for such a good amount of money. I was a bit confused as to what Carlotydes meant, and when I looked it up and I googled it, it seems to be a mishmash of the creator's name. I can't remember her name now, but I think it's Carlo something or other, and I think this Carlotydes is like a mishmash of her first and second name. Aren't these beautiful? I think these are going to read really well. I really do, actually. The little that I've looked at them so far, all the information is there, isn't it? It's just quite an unusual little deck. It's something quite different for me. I was so thrilled to have found it in this little bundle of decks. I like the size of the cards. I love the backs of them. I mean, wow. I could have easily ended up buying this deck just for the backs. I do honestly think this will be quite a good reader, and I look forward to using it at some point. You'll have to let me know if you've got this deck. I was trying to think what I would actually pair it with. Ooh. Again, you could let me know if you have this deck and you have a favourite oracle that you use it with. Please let me know. So many of my oracle decks particularly are sort of botanically type ones, which don't always go with every tarot deck. But yeah. Look at that, look, the Hierophant with a rabbit. There seems to be all sorts of different influences of different cultures in this deck as well. I've seen what looks to me to be sort of Russian and Celtic and pagan and yeah, all sorts. I mean, that's got a kind of a Russian feel about it, hasn't it? I'll have to look a bit more into who. So is that one. And then we have this culture here, which I'm not sure what that is. Oh, and look, the lovers. That's the Klimt artwork, isn't it? Or a version of it. Yeah, I'll have to have a little bit more of a read about sort of the thought processes behind this deck. Why it's got so many different cultural influences in it. It's quite a diverse little deck, isn't it? It's a pretty, pretty little deck. I'm really, really pleased with that, actually. Like I said, other than the boxes being a bit scuffed up, the cards themselves look absolutely fine. So this one is a beautiful deck. I very quickly flicked through this morning when it first came because I've never seen this deck before at all. This is a low scarabeo deck. I have no idea what the copyright is of this deck. It's a very, very beat up little box. So it says this was copyright low scarabeo. Well, this says it was printed in 2020, but the copyright on there, it doesn't seem to give a date. Let's have a look. It does here. No, it doesn't seem to give a date. But it's by Jamie Elford and the artwork by Franco Rivoli. Yeah, printed in December 2020. Like I said, I've never ever seen it before. It's got the usual sort of little guidebook with just a few lines. The backs of the cards are really nice. I like those. They're calling out to be edged, aren't they? In a nice sort of blue colour to complement that, perhaps. And that's the front card. I think they're in order as well by the looks of it. How strange. So it looks like we get two fools. Yeah, just dressed differently. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of the Silver Witchcraft Tarot, because it's got that magical feel about it that the Silver Witchcraft Tarot has. Oh, look at that, look, the Emperor. Wow. It is a very, very pretty deck. And again, I do honestly believe that this will be a good, easy reader, pretty much. Look at the Hermit, that's lovely. Not sure about the Strength card there. It's like she's trying to raise the wolf from the dead, isn't she? Really nice colours in this. It's very pagan, isn't it? Beautiful colours. Look at the devil. What's that say in the book? That's unusual, isn't it? I wonder if it gives any insight into that. The crone. Ah, just the crone, aka the devil. Break free from addictions, release from restraint, indulge in healthy activities and passions, free yourself. Do not give away your power to others, overcome fear and confusion. Oh. So yeah, this is obviously the triple goddess, the maiden, mother and crone, the triple aspects. The Fool represents the narrator, the divine inspiration. The first 7 majors depict the test the maiden goes through to become a mother. The second 7 cards describe the mother's journey. And finally, the last 7 cards show how the crone deals with her stage of life, returning back home to the divine. The minor arcana take on one aspect of the witch's pyramid: to know, to dare, to will, and to keep silent. Ooh. And we can see the crone here, look, with her journey, bless her, in the tower. Hard times for the crone. There's the star. Oh, look. And then the world. How interesting. I don't know if you know the Silver Witchcraft Tarot, but I think you like me, you'd be able to see some kind of parallels between them, some similarities in the way that some of these cards are set out. Oh, look. 9 of Wands. That's going to be me, that is. I'll never stop in my garden. I'm going to show you all of them just because they're so pretty. And I've not looked through them properly myself yet, so aren't they lovely? Oh, I have so many beautiful decks. It's a real struggle for me to know, you know, and I don't have the largest collection. You know, I don't know how people with much bigger collections than me manage to actually use and look at everything that they have. Like I said, I've said in other videos, I do have some decks that I've collected just because they're beautiful, but I don't really have any intention of ever reading with them because they're just not very practical that way. But I have lots and lots of decks that I love and find very, very beautiful to look at, and I want to read with. Look at the colours, these beautiful dual colours. And this, I think, is going to be one of them. So I'm going to have to find some time for this one, aren't I? How lovely. The page there. The Queen and the King. Of course, they're all females. Wow. Oh, look, I think she's menopausal, isn't she? Like, I can't stand the noise. Leave me alone. Oh, and the beautiful Nine of Pentacles. That's always one of my favourites. How lovely are these? Wow. So there we go. That was a very quick look at my 3 new used decks. So I need to make my mind up about the Tarot of the Moon Garden. I need to spend some time with the Tarot of Carlotydes. And definitely with this Triple Goddess Tarot, because it is stunning. I'm really, really happy with this little bundle of decks. So do let me know if you've got any of them, how they read for you, how you get on with them. Just say hello. I love to hear from people. So hope everybody's well. Much love to everybody, and I'll see you all again soon.